Perfect. So let's start with the session. So as you know, as we already talked about what is CTF, and we know CTF stands for Capture the Flag competitions. In these kind of cybersecurity competitions, what usually happen is there are different kind of challenges which are being posed in front of us, and what we have to do is we basically have to that hack into that particular system. Maybe it's a website, maybe it's a kind of a some kind of system is there. Okay, we need to hack it, or maybe for reverse engineering challenges there might be some application and we really need to reverse it, and we need to see what is the possible challenges there. Okay, same goes with the crypto challenge, where we get a ciphertext and somehow we have to decrypt the ciphertext into the into the plain text. So these are the mostly what we usually have to do in the CTF challenges. Now, for a lot of beginner, it's very difficult to understand, because I personally felt that in the last weekend when we were playing this Red Pawn CTF, and a lot of people were basically asking me some very basic questions, like how to register into a website, how can we actually start the CTF, how to join the team and stuff like that. And it's let's just start with that particular thing as well. So on the first thing is that what how do we register into a team? And sorry to say, like I actually made a mistake while registering. I earlier the team name that I there are a couple of teams that I used to play. I play from the Knobs team. It's a French team. It's a French team, and we actually got we were ranked one as well in 2018, and in 2019 we were ranked three. But anyway, like since Knobs is one of the team from my previous university, from Eurocom, and then along with couple of my friends over here in India, like we kind of formed a different team called as Cyber Scorpions. We just played couple of CTFs in in 2017, and after that it was kind of a no way, like none of us was interested, and I was mostly playing it from the Knobs team as well. But anyway, like I decided to to renew this particular team, and let's start playing the again. But unfortunately, because of the stupid mistake, I instead of Cyber Scorpions, there was a S was supposed to be. I created a team name called Cyber Scorpion, and then again, all the rankings and everything actually happened from Cyber Scorpion. Anyway, so last we actually got ranked something around 635. I would say, like because I just solved like four challenges, I think. Okay, and then after that I didn't have a lot of time because I had to prepare for the classes as well. Both days had to take the classes, and then about my startup and stuff like that. So probably I couldn't spend a lot of time in playing the CTF, but I was my objective was to make sure that the other people actually other people who have joined our community play more from our team, and they kind of like level up themselves. So that was the more or less the objective as well. And Red Pawn CTF, if you guys how many of you played Red Pawn CTF from Cyber Scorpion, from the team Cyber Scorpion? Because I kind of like solved just four challenges, and there were three more challenges who were solved by someone. So I'm not sure, like who solved those three challenges. Any idea? Anyone who solved that challenges? Okay, okay, you didn't. Anyway, like if not, what I'm going to suggest you guys is that you guys go ahead, and if you guys really want to play from our team, feel free to join this particular new team. And I'm extremely sorry for the mishap, for for all the mishap that we did. So once you click here, and there will be a small icon called I am in the team or something like that. You click there, and then you will be basically directed to that to the team as well, like anyway. So this is like what we will be playing. There are a couple of more star CTF. So there was, I actually registered for Google's CTF as well, but to be honest I didn't even log in to see the the challenges as well. But anyway, not an issue. We are going to play from secure bug CTF, and there is one more CTF that is coming online. 19th, yeah, yeah, secure bug CTF. Obviously, this is like a what I have read from the what I have read actually about secure bug CTF. This is the first time that they are organizing, and at the same time, it's kind of it's a lot of challenges would be for the beginner. So probably this is the right way how you guys can come across and play the CTF. Okay. Anyway, so that is one thing about the CTF. Now, how can you guys start, to make sure you guys get ready for the CTF? There are a couple of websites that I usually recommend you guys to go ahead and play them. Okay. So for the the war, there are a couple of war games website, and that is like over the wire. I personally like this particular website, and this is like the first time when I started playing the CTF and stuff like that. This was the first thing I did. So I started solving all of the challenges one by one, and it took me, I would say, like 1 or 2 months, 2 months basically, okay, to solve almost everything. 2 to 3 months, I would say. You know, um, so I would advise you guys to go ahead and try to solve all the challenges from the over the wire, especially if you are a beginner. And this would give you a lot of understanding about how the CTF works and stuff like that. There are other websites as well, Hack the Box. I'm pretty sure like a lot of people actually solve Hack the Box. Then you have Try Hack Me. It has, these are like more about the pawning the boxes and some other stuff like that. The another challenge, which I recommend, especially for the beginners, is that root me challenge, root me, and this is I kind of like playing these root me. This is like one of the website from France, and a lot of French people they play. They kind of like try to solve the challenges from root me, and it has a lot of beginner level challenges. So I spent a couple of days of time try to solve the challenges, and that's exactly what we are going to do. So for people who are very much new, we are basically going to start with root me, and kind of like solve a couple of challenges, just a basic one to give you an rough idea of how things happen. So that bring us to the say next part, where we are going to go through root me. We'll see different aspect, and and then we are going to solve a couple of challenges from root me. Very basic ones basically. Okay. Now, before we start solve the challenges, there is one thing that I really need to make you guys aware of, is that you will see there are a lot of things. Okay, you will see there is an app script. There are a couple of challenges around the app script. Same goes with app system. Same goes with cracking, criminalized sales, foreign sales network. And stuff like that. And you might say, and a lot of you might say that I don't know what this particular challenge is all about. I probably a lot of you say that I have no idea about networking, how I'm going to go ahead and solve the challenges. And the best thing that one of the things that I actually advise all of you guys to do is that don't be afraid of the challenge, even if it's a new thing, even if you don't know anything about the challenge. Okay, so probably you have no idea. So let's talk about this, the network challenge, and you have no idea about what this FTP means. Okay, just do one thing, just search for what FTP is on the Google. Try to read more about it. Okay, it will take a couple of your time in order to make you guys understand what FTP is, a broad level idea. Okay, and then try to see what is the objective of the challenge. What is the try to understand what are the ways that you can exploit the challenges. Obviously, for the beginner level, they're not going to go deep, so probably it will be basically be very easy for you to solve the challenges. Now there are a couple of tools that you really need to use. One of the things is like I'm not sure like how many of you use Kali Linux over here? Anyone who use Kali Linux? Any one of you who uses Kali Linux?
Yes, I'm
Your voice is not very clear. Okay, so those who have never used Kali Linux, I would recommend you guys to just go ahead and first start using Kali Linux. It's very important. It's very important that you use this. And why I'm saying this, a lot of people will say that I'm use Ubuntu and I can solve a lot of challenges using Ubuntu. And yeah, you can very much go ahead and solve the challenges through Ubuntu. It's not like system dependent. But one of the thing is that you really need to have your tools, right tools with you. So probably the one of the problem that with Ubuntu or Windows is that you will need to install a lot of softwares to use to use various other stuff. And yeah, and the same thing, and probably the same thing that you have to do is that you basically will have to go ahead, install the software, learn about the software, also maybe search about the software and stuff like that, and that will take a lot of your time. So it's better that you have operating system which have all the softwares installed inside it. So that's why I'll suggest you guys to go ahead and kind of install this on inside you. Okay, basically Kali Linux. Anyway, so let's go ahead and try to see what are the different types of challenges out there. So if you go ahead and see the rootme.org, okay, and if you see here there are 3, 6, 10, 11. So there are 11 categories over here, and inside every categories there are approximately overall there are 450 plus challenges are there. If you sum up all of the challenges, and they have been divided into different sections, and a couple of sections are like which I would say that you guys can start from is like the cryptanalysis, which is about the cryptography, okay, which is pretty much simple, that there will be a couple of encoding and decoding stuff is there, okay, couple of challenges regarding the RSA is going to be there, things like that. The another challenge that you can start is with the network challenge. Network challenges are pretty much straightforward, pretty much easy. That you need Wireshark to first you have to use Wireshark for these kind of challenges. To see the packet, to analyze the packet, and maybe with the same thing you are going to use a lot of other tools apart from Wireshark as well, and that will again be based upon your necessity. Anyway, so app script. Okay, app script is more or less like about the pawn challenges. Okay, what you have to do is you will basically have to log into the SSH. So if you see here, what we do is we log in into the let's log in into the challenge. Okay, and then if you see here, how does this app script challenge usually work? Is that you okay, I see. Sorry. So if you see here, this is the password file where where the flag is being stored, and if we try to read this particular file, and we will not be able to read, and obviously because if we see we are AppScript ch11, and it was this particular file was actually created by AppScript ch11 cracked, and obviously this so this is like how can you read this particular file, and then there is a if you see the source code has already been mentioned about the this particular challenge like ch11.c, and yeah, so we will try to analyze the source code and try to see how you can basically exploit the system, and obviously understanding about the source code, and try to read this code and try to analyze what does that particular code do is really very important. And apart from understanding the code, what another thing is very important is that you also try to you also try to have a try to find out a way how you can bypass them. So for example, if you see here, if you see in this particular challenge, it's like ls, and then this particular file is being evoked. So if I just So technically, if I'm able to run this particular program, then it will actually list down. ls is like a list command. So if I just run this one, and then it is just going to list down, nothing very fancy. So our objective is, how can we modify this particular file, okay, to trick it that instead of using ls it uses cat. Okay, so that is like because our end objective is to read the content of the file, and we can see that ls is being executed now. Does anyone have any idea, like how you can how you can modify this? Anyone? I really want to hear it from you guys. Anyone? Any idea? Yeah, this one Wireshark runs on Windows as well. There are a lot of, almost you'll find mostly the softwares which are running on the Kali Linux, they will have some sort of compatibility with Windows as well. But then again, you will really need to install all of the softwares, and that will take time. Yeah, escalate privilege. Like how do you want to escalate the privilege? How do you want, GB? Any idea? Like anyone who wants to switch on their mic and try to speak, feel free to do that. Any idea? The objective is, if you see this particular question, um, if you do this particular question, this challenge, okay, this is the source code is there, right? And the source code is that, if I run this ch11, ch11, okay, this particular ch11, you will see that it's basically listing down the file, which is like dot password, and it's the same thing. Like if we see the source code, it's basically the password file is being listed. Then how can we pawn the system to actually make sure that we read the content of the file? Because if we run the cat command, it says the permission has been denied. Okay, and it makes sense because we are not in the right group, right? We don't have the permission. Now someone said that we can use chmod, but to run even to the chmod, so for example, if you say chmod and we give 777 all the permission to, let's say, password, it's not going to work because we don't have the right permission as well. Okay, so that's exactly chmod also need elevated permission, and being another user, you cannot change the permission of the another user until unless you are a root user, and they have not given us the root permission. So the only way that is left is that we really need trick our program to make sure that this, instead of ls command, we kind of run the cat command. Okay, any idea? We can do that in the code, but again, we cannot change the source code. That is exactly what you have to remember, because if you see, even if we change this ch11 dot c source code, then again we'll actually compile it through our through this particular user, and then even if we compile it to this user, it is not going to read this file. Okay, because this ch11 was actually compiled to the same user who actually created this password file. Okay, and that is exactly why we really need to trick them to make sure that the instead of ls, the cat command runs. Okay, any rough idea? Exactly, Jack. We don't have the permission. Anyone have idea, or shall I just go ahead and try to show you guys how we can trick them? Yes, set UID permission is there. Yeah, exactly. You're right. If you see here, the set UID permission is is provided on the CH11, and that's exactly why what we are going to exploit to trick and to read about the password. Now we are not going to cover what set UID permission. A lot of you will know what set UID permission is. If you're not, a lot of people will actually read about the set UID permission during the bash class, and those who are not going to attend those classes, I'll share the PPT in the group, and probably you guys can have a look at that.
Can you just give a brief of SCID?
Sorry.
Can you just give a brief of
Exactly.
SCID?
That's
Yes.
exactly what I've said. Are you from Upgrad?
No, I am not.
Okay, for this set UID brief, because I don't want to deviate the topic, and we are definitely going to, what, okay, just one, and a special
Yeah,
announcement.
just a brief.
Yeah. So basically, set UID permission gives you a special access to run some file, being the another user. Okay. So if you see here, this particular file was actually created by what, like, app script ch11.crack, right? But who we are app script ch11. Okay. So how we can basically run this file? So because of the set UID, we are able to run this particular file with the permission, with the, the same, privilege level as the user who have created this particular file. Okay, so that is what exactly the set UID permission gives you. That it gives you a permission that you can run the same file being posing at the other file. So for example, let's suppose, I'm just talking in a very layman term. What is your name, by the way? Hello.
Hello, my name is Zishan.
Jishan. Okay, so yeah, Jishan. So, for example, like, you created some file. Let's suppose, you have created some, written some book, and then you kept this particular book in a place where you are the only one who has the key to open the door, and then, then read this file. Okay. Now, if,
Okay.
for example, if I want to read the file, obviously I won't be able to read it, right? Now, you know I really need to have the access to the key. If you give me the key, then probably I will have the key. I will go to your home, I will open the lock, and then I will get the access, and then I will read the file, right? This is exactly what it happens. Now, this is how the set URL permission does it. It gives you the permission that I can pose as you to run this particular file. Okay, and this is exactly why, and the guy who created this program, basically he thought that, I'm giving a set URL permission so that, the user can basically just run the ls command, using the you just run the ls command, and get the listing of this particular file. But he never imagined that, we can be very smart, and we can actually trick them. Instead of running the ls command, we can trick them to run the cat command. And how we can do is, okay, let me just show you, like, how we can basically do it. Okay. Anyone have any idea, like, regarding that, or shall I just show you guys how you can do it? Anyone? Not sure. Not an issue. So let's do one thing. Okay. In in bash, we already know, like, the temp is one of the folder where we can do almost anything we want, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm basically going to create one, dff, I don't know. Okay, cd dfl. Okay, I created a, one of my folder, and what I'm going to do in this, inside this particular folder, is that I am going to basically copy the cat file. And we already, if you guys know that, that all of these cat ls, and all of these shell command that we run, basically all of these shell command is kind of like a program, and all of these programs are being stored inside the bin folder. Okay, so I can basically go ahead and copy the source code of that program, okay, and store it here. Okay, now if I see here, then you'll see that, the cat command is there. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm basically going to change the name of this cat to ls. Okay, now if I do that, you'll see now, the the basically the ls command, it looks like it's a ls command, but actually, if the source code, if you see the source code, the source code is still the cat command. We just renamed the file, and that's exactly, we didn't do anything funny other than that. Now, let's try to, txt. Okay, so if you see here, we can use the cat command to to run this, we use ls command to list down, which is like but if we just try to run this ls and then we try to run 10, okay, you see that we are actually we are actually running the ls, but we are uh, the entire functioning is of the cat command. Now the next thing that what we can do is that we can include this particular ls into our environment variables, okay, into a path variable, sorry. Environment variable is for windows, and we call it as a path variable. So what we are going to do is we are basically going to use export the, sorry, path, and then tmp, we are definitely going to store tfll, okay, and then we are going to have the path variable. We are basically concatenating the other path variable. We are making sure that the whatever the file that is there inside this particular folder is concatenated before that, okay. Now if we see which ls, okay, it will say that if we run the ls command, okay, it is going to run this particular command, okay. Now if we see which cat, okay, the cat command is still there, which mv, all of them is from the bin, like as usual, most in most of the cases it is going to be. But for ls, now the ls has become to this particular way, right? Now our objective would be just to make sure that we run this particular ch11. Now since I run the ch11, now it actually gave me the solution. I can very much go ahead and copy this and try to submit the same challenge, and we will be able to submit it. Any questions so far? Any questions till here? Any question? Okay, no question. So I hope like you guys understood this particular challenge. We are not going to go ahead and solve the challenge, and the last step would be that once we get this challenge, the another thing would be to go ahead and paste it. Okay, but since I already solved the challenge, so it's not going to give me the point. So go ahead and paste and solve the challenge, and you get the point for that. The same thing that you guys have to do as well. Okay, go ahead and try to solve more and more challenges. For the cracking part, it's it's gonna be it's the reverse engineering. Okay, yeah, it's about the reverse engineering, and how many of you guys have solved? Okay, I didn't try any of the reverse engineering challenges from here, but how many of you guys actually know what reverse engineering is, and have solved any reverse engineering challenges previously? Because I remember I created one of those reverse engineering challenge as well, whose flag was done. I'm not sure like how many of you guys actually solved that challenge. How many did you guys solve the challenge? Yeah, yeah, you did, right? So you guys, Jati, I hope I am pronouncing your name fine. Yeah, so you basically solved the reverse engineering challenge. So are you aware of the reverse engineering? Yeah, okay. So yeah, exactly. So a little bit. Okay, fine. So what we are definitely, I didn't install any of the challenges from here. Probably I never gave it time, shot as well. But definitely I am going to schedule one more session on the reverse engineering as well, because reverse engineering really need to for reverse engineering you really need to understand about the register, the accumulators, and more about more regarding those kind of thing. Okay, and once you understand what kind of registers are there, how the programs are being stored, a bit about the assembly level languages as well, and then you guys will be very much easier to solve these challenges. Okay, a lot of time you can actually go ahead and solve the challenge, which I actually did, like for the response CTF as well, where you just use the string command. Okay, there's a strings command, and you use it and try to read what are the strings inside it, inside the reverse engineer, that particular binary, and maybe you will get access to the content that is being inside that is inside there. Anyway, so these are more or less about the reverse engineering and the cracking challenges. The another objective would be the cryptanalysis. Cryptanalysis, I'm pretty sure, since a lot of you must have attended my cryptography course, so you can guys go ahead and solve these challenges as well. If you guys face any problem in any of the challenges, feel free to ping me. Forensics, I haven't taken any classes of any one of you, and to be honest, I haven't even solved any of the forensic challenge over here as well. So probably I'll give it a try, and if you guys have solved the forensic challenges, feel free to share your experience as well. Networking, I already told you, you will need Warsaw. Okay, there's a realistic challenge programming. Okay, you will really need to go ahead and write a couple of codes as well. A steganography challenge is all about there'll be a couple of images, or document where the some images would be hidden inside it, or maybe there will be a couple of audio, and inside the audio the flag would be hidden inside. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, no, go ahead and try to solve these challenges as well. There was one called as web client. Okay, okay. And now there are a couple of challenges which is like web client and web server. It's all about the web security. Okay, how many of you are aware of web security? Jishan, actually, these classes are being organized from upgrade. Okay, are from upgrade. Uh, okay, that yeah. For web security challenges, there are a couple of for especially for the web client. I definitely recommend you guys to install one of the especially if you are using Kali Linux. There is a tool called as Burp Suite. Guys, go ahead and install this particular install this burp suit, and then you can go ahead and solve a couple of challenges over there. Okay, the first one is very simple. Okay, the form is enable disable, and you guys have to go ahead and type a couple of things, and how you can do is okay, I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out the way as well. Okay, uh, try to see the JavaScript code, because most of these kind of stuff are actually blocked using the JavaScript. Okay, and if you guys go ahead and unblock them, okay, or delete that particular code, because again it's a kind of a the client side validation is there, so you can do a lot of changing as well, and then solve the challenges. Okay, for web, apart from the web client, there will be all the JavaScript and stuff like that is there. Then there is a web server challenge. Now web server challenges, how you, and for these web server challenges you will definitely need burp suit, and it's all about the traffic that is being passed from your browser to the server, and how you can manipulate these servers. Okay, so I have used. Let me just give you guys a bit of background about burp suit as well. How do you use burp suit? Okay, so for burp suit, there is how do you use? First, you have to configure the burp. So there are a lot of online tutorial how you can configure the burp suit with your browser. If someone is requesting. Anyway, so how you can request just 1 minute. Okay, guys, go ahead, and if you are using for Firefox, you can go ahead and use settings. Yeah, setting, inside the setting you can go inside the setting, you go ahead and you set the proxy configuration, and inside the proxy configuration you have to do a port forwarding on port 8080 through 8080, and your localhost IP address, which is a loopback IP address as well, so which is 127.0.0.1. do that. Okay, and you set it for all the protocols for both the FTP and the HTTPS as well, in that particular way that you are aware of whatever you guys want to open up the website and everything. Now, to open a HTTPS, you also really need to install the certificate of the purpose. If you guys are finding any problem in installing the certificate, feel free to ask me. Okay, it's pretty much easy to install the certificate. You just go ahead and use Verb. Okay, and just download the certificate, and then you go ahead and uh, go again back to settings and install the certificate. Now, anyway, let's see, we tried to open google.com. Okay, now if you see, I was able to open the google.com, but for example, if I want to search hi, okay, and hello. So if you see here, now since I have started with the intercept is on, so you'll see that all of the traffic is being, I can very much see what are the traffic being passed. So if you see here, I searched for hello, and it's still it's still loading, it's still a moment where loading, and the search has not happened. And the reason is that the browser sent the information, but our burp suite has captured the information in the middle, and till now from our browser this particular information has not gone to the Google server so that they can return whatever the response that they want to our website. Okay, to the back to the browser. So we can very much go ahead. So for example, if you see here, I searched for help, right? But I don't know, if I just type it hey and I just forward it. Okay, what does happen? So if you see here, when I change the parameter over here, and then instead of hello, I if you see from the browser side, I actually type hello, but if you see here, I change the parameter through the burp suite, and I can very much go, I change it to hey, and I saw the change in parameter. The same will happen with the other websites as well. So for example, if you see, I don't know, let's solve or the header. Okay. So if I try to open this particular website, okay, what will happen? Okay, okay. First, I will need to log in to the root me. Okay, the thing is, I will have, I actually need to log into the root me to do that. Okay. But anyway, someone is actually requesting to join. So I will actually have to to install, but the idea is that you guys can change the parameter, and it is very simple to do all of these stuff. Do you guys want me to solve one of the web challenges, or or you guys can try it by yourself? All you have to do is you'll have to see the JavaScript source code that is being passed, and go ahead and try to change the parameter. Let me just log into the readme itself. .org. And remember, if you have not if you have not done that, I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute, and just let me just log in to me. Okay, I am getting some sort of problem. Let me switch back to Kali. In the meantime, if you guys have any question, feel free to ask. Okay, this one is taking a lot of time. I don't know. This one is taking a lot of time, so probably the I usually face a lot of problem regarding that. So anyway, not an issue. What I'm going to do is like we'll have one session on web security, and in that particular session we are definitely going to cover up all of these challenges. The idea is that you more or less got the idea, like what are the tools that we are going to use. Okay, and the idea is like once you see the traffic that is being passed, all you have to do is you have to think of a way how you can change the parameter. What are the parameters that is being passed from from between our client to the server, and how you can change this parameter to make sure that to trick the server to give some response which they should not have given. Okay, so maybe I don't know, maybe they have some cookies set, and in the cookies it's they are basically taking your username, changing that username into a base 64 format and passing them as a token. But so what you can do is you can basically you see, okay, admin is usually the name of the admin username. So go ahead and change the base 64 of admin, and then pass that, change that cookie value, and probably will get the access as well. So it really depends, how what you can do through the parameter that is being passed, and how you can validate it. But and it's really very fun. Okay, trust me, like I personally like to solve the web server challenge, and that's why you must have seen that I solve a lot of challenges as well from the web server. So probably you guys should go ahead and try to solve the same all of the web server challenges as well. I don't know. I'm not sure if I wrote this solution as well, but it's not good idea to. Anyway, we'll solve these. Try to go ahead and solve these challenges. If you guys face any problem in solving the challenges, feel free to ask me. Okay. Now, since we don't have a lot of time left, okay, what we are going to do is we are going to solve the timing attack challenge. Now, Jack, how were you solving the challenge? Can you like give us a walkthrough, like how you were trying to solve this challenge, timing attack challenge? What you were thinking? I really want to know, like what the computers who were trying to solve the challenge, what was going on their mind?
Yeah. Hi, Prashant.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
yeah, you are.
Yeah, actually, I just tried for time delay stuff. Like, I created some scripts in Python and just sending the request again and again and checking if there's a delay in time or if it's giving me any error for some specific strings or something, status codes, and checking all of that, but couldn't find anything in that.
Okay, so let me just give you a brief background, okay, about the timing attack. Okay, now if you guys see this particular code, anyone have idea, like what is wrong in this particular code? Any idea? Any idea? Anyone who wants to explain this?
I think it's raw input, right?
Yeah, raw input, like it's just taking the input from the user about the password, and it's just validating if the password is secret pass, and if it's a secret pass, this is the same password, then it prints congrat. Otherwise, they say like you are mistaken. But what is the wrong that you feel like is there in this particular logic? If you can identify any flaw, anyone, especially the upgrade student, I already taught you guys about the timing attack, so probably you guys should know Saurav and Soumya. Anyone who wants to try, what is wrong, what is going wrong in this particular small algorithm? No one wants to try.
Uh, Prashant, I'm not sure if passwords are ever typed in the code in plain text like this.
Okay, let's just suppose like because if it's a if it's a hard, obviously you store these passwords in the obviously in the database. Okay, but I'm talking about in a more general term about the logic. Okay, even if it was in the database, you would just have a query written where you will fetch the information from the database, right? Instead of hard coding stuff, you fetch the content from the coding. But then again, the more or less the logic is still the same, right? I mean, according to you, instead of this, you just let me just open my. So instead of this, what you are going to do is password and is equal to and fetch it from DB and whatever the DB is, and whatever the code of there, and and the idea is like, and again, if this particular string is going to be stored in the DB, it is going to be fetched. But then again, if you break it in a simpler term, it's again going to be the same thing, right? The password is going to be compared with the this particular password. So what is the law wrong which you feel like okay, this is a mistake in this kind of implementation, or think in a perspective of a hacker, how you can feel like okay, I can exploit this. Anyone? Okay, not an issue. So the one of the biggest mistake in this one is if whatever the so for example, let's say you uh, someone asked me for the password and I entered the password as Prashant. Okay. Now, how does the validation actually happens? The validation happens is that it is first going to validate P with S. Is it the correct one? No. Then it will say, okay, this is a wrong. Go and print the you are mistaken. Now, if I say instead of Prashant, I said S ANT, Sant, for example. Okay. Now what it is going to do is it is going to compare S with S, the first, the first character. It's okay, it passes. It will then compare with 3 is equal to A. Okay. It will say, okay, it fails. Now go ahead and print this, you are mistaken. Okay, so there will be like validation 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 level of validation is going to be, and if all of them actually matches, then you will say okay, things are working fine. But here lies the problem. Here lies, now if you feel like there is no other information is being fetched, but one of the information that is being fetched is the timing, because comparing Prashant is going to take less time than comparing Sant. Okay, then if I just have like R P 3 2 1, okay, for example, okay, something like that. So if you see, then this will take more time. Okay, this will be on the rank 2, this will be rank 1, and this will take the list time. Any argument on that? Now, can you guys see like one of the information that is being leaked from here is the timing information. So if we can somehow calculate the amount of time, okay, that is being required, then probably we'll find out what is the right character is. So if you see, okay, so Sant is taking more time than Prashant. Okay, or we what we are going to do, A and T, we'll compare with A and T, we compare B and T, we compare C and T. Okay, we do the same thing until with S as well. Okay, now if this S is going to get matched with this, obviously this one SANT is going to take more time than ANT or BANT and all of this stuff. So we will actually go ahead and record the timing of all of them, and then we find out okay, this one is going to take a little more time, so probably the S The first one is the correct one. So basically over here as well, we are doing a brute force attack. We are brute forcing it with each and every character on the first place, the second place, and the third place, and so on and so forth. So if you see, to make the challenge easy, I also provided the length. The length, it was 11, and I also said, like, everything was on the lower case, if I remember correctly, right? So I also mentioned that everything was in the lower case, so you guys don't really have to worry about the capital or the small. Okay. So the time taken to run this challenge is less. Now let's go ahead and try to solve the same challenge with the same concept. So you guys can go ahead, and I am already running the same server. Yeah, the server is being run. So this was the same server that we are running, and I already wrote this particular code, uh, date demo file. So I already wrote this particular code where I'm just hitting, and for the simplicity purpose I actually made the token size as 3. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the timing, okay, of every brute forcing that I'm going to do. Now if you guys really want me to hand over this particular solution, I can very much give you this particular solution. It's totally fine. Other than that, you guys know the concept that that was actually that I actually used. Okay, now it will be all about your programming skill and how much you're going to write about it. Okay. Anyway, so if we try to run the same, okay, python 3 demo.py. Okay, now what it is, so for every, it's A is gonna be there, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So it is going to try with all the characters, and then it will say calculate all the timing of everyone, and then it will see, like, which one takes the more time. So for this one, it found out, like, it took the D one took the more time, and then it is going to try with D A, D B, D C, D D, D E. Same goes with every character. Now if you see, the first one took a bit, it was a bit faster. For the second one, it got slower because of the uh, increase in the complexity. Okay, and it is going to happen with the third one as well. It will take a couple of more time, and then okay, fine, it happened, and it identified that E is the second one. Then it is going to happen with the final the third, because length was 3. Now there is one small, okay. Now there is one small thing that you guys really need to understand, is that since everything is running on a local machine, so that is one of the reason why everything was a bit faster in in getting the information. For you guys, it would have taken a bit more time, even when you were doing a brute force for every character. And the reason would be that there will be a delay based upon your internet connection, and how much the response, what is the time being taken from the server to response, and how loaded the server was, and stuff like that. But anyway, like, if once you do that, you find out the token is day, and then you've got the solution. Now if I go ahead and okay, let's just stop the server, and let's just run it. And if you see, the token is day. Okay, so it was nothing fancy. Okay, it's just like the string comparison was happening, and nothing very fancy about it. Anyway, so any questions so far? If password equal to password, data is passed to a variable. I guess you are trying to answer the question. Any questions so far regarding this challenge, or regarding the CTF in general? Okay, yeah. Try to solve, if you guys really want to the solution of this particular challenge. Okay, feel free to just ping me, and I'll give you the solution as well. But I would definitely, I'll like you guys to solve it by yourself. And for the server code, I can very much give you guys the server code that you guys have to run. Okay, try it. try it by yourself. If you cannot, then you already guys knew the concept behind the challenge. Okay. Regarding the CTF, the next CTF that we are going to play is what is the next CTF that we are going to play? We are going. The next CTF is Secure Bug CTF. Okay, which is going to be on 19th of July. And I would like you guys to participate in this CTF along with me. Okay, I might not give a lot of time in solving the challenges, but then again, if you guys are solving, I probably will solve a couple of more challenges along with you guys, and the objective is to score as much point as possible. Obviously, winning is not on the plate as of now. We'll try to do that, but I know how difficult it is, because a lot of big teams, they are actually playing with 30, 40 experienced players in the CTF competitions. But anyway, like that's exactly what we are going to do. Okay. Do you have any more question? Any more question? I want to list first. Okay, I actually, in the Slack group itself, there's a channel called CTF. I actually, posted about the list of CTF that we are going to play. Feel free to join yourself in these challenges, and then again, we'll, kind of, solve the challenges one by one. Any more question?
Yeah, actually, I had one. Actually, this challenge is down right now. So, is there any possibility that I can?
Yeah, I can actually give you the server code. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay.
we can very much go ahead and run the. It's just gonna use Python 3 for running the server code, and you will have to install Flask. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
that's all you have to do, and then you just run this particular code, and probably you will basically try to write the solution by yourself. If not, you can just ping me, and I'll just give you the solution actually.
No, actually, I just want to try it myself.
Yeah.
This is a great concept. Actually, I tried it for the whole 11 characters, so it was taking a lot of time, and I was comparing the time for those whole 11 characters. I actually forgot about the each and every character.
Yeah. Otherwise, for 11, it's not possible. Otherwise, because you might be doing a dictionary attack, a brute force attack.
Exactly.
Brute force attack for 11 characters is going to take a lot of time. So dictionary attack, you must be doing a dictionary attack, and if the dictionary attack does not have this, because when I was trying to solve, create this challenge, I actually made sure that the word that I used as a token was not present in any of the dictionary. Okay. So the dictionary attack would not be possible until unless you create a dictionary which had this particular word. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's more or less about this particular challenge. And yeah, feel free to to suggest me if you want anything else, regarding the challenge, or regarding that, if you guys have any suggestion about how we should organize this kind of session. Probably in the next session, if you guys feel like, okay, this topic should be covered up, either it's going to be me, or someone from the cybersecurity fraternity, from the industry. I'll ask someone to come up and give a talk on some topic. So any more question before we end up the session? Any question? If you guys don't have any question, just type no. At least it feels like I'm talking to someone. Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Okay, I have the recording of the session as well. Okay, fortunately this time. So I will actually, upload this on the YouTube, and probably I'll share that link with you. So those who guys missed this challenge, the session, they can very much go ahead and Uh, oh, one more announcement. Just one more announcement. And since since you guys already know, like this is like a kind of a we the first thing is that there are a couple of things that we really need to make sure about, that whatever the session that we are going to organize and ever here, we never ask for any money. So in the past what we have seen is that there are a couple of guys, okay, who are trying to scam. I actually got a information from one of the members of the Slack group as well, that someone called them and said that, okay, we are from this particular group, hacking the people, and we are organizing a seminar and you have to pay this much amount of money, okay, for for the live classes. And since we have made this challenge in such a way that you can, any one of you can come across and message either to me or to Joaquin or to Dan, and so we definitely got to know about it, and just making it sure that we never ask for any money. Okay, we are doing it for the community. Okay, we feel like that knowledge should be shared with everyone. Okay, and it's not like I know a lot or you know a lot or stuff like that. Okay, it's not a kind of an ego game that is going on here. So probably Jat might know some of the things way better than me. Okay, and I might not be knowing it because it's still, for me, I'm also in a learning phase, just like all of you. Okay, so we don't ask for any money. That's the first thing. The second thing is, like, all of the session is going to be free. The third thing is that we are definitely going to uh, yeah, we are definitely going to organize. So we are creating a website called Cybdemy.com, and inside the Cybdemy.com, what we feel like, because someone asked about the SETU and it's not possible during the live session that we go across and we start giving us the background of every concept. It's not possible, right? And it will actually hinder the learning process of the challenges because we have limited number of time. So what we are trying to prepare is, like, we just created a website called Cybdemy.com, and we are actually creating all the courses and everything, making all the courses for free. Okay, so if any one of you who wants to share any particular course, maybe it's a half an hour course, maybe it's a 1 hour of course, okay, obviously which you guys created, feel free to share it with us. Okay, we'll list down that particular course on on the Cybdemy website. Okay, giving you guys the full credit of the course who have created. And yeah, more or less, that's how we are going. And obviously, this is just a dummy content over here, so it will take a couple of more days of time. We revamp this website. If any one of you is well versed with WordPress and who wants to help us in running this community and running the website and everything like that, feel free to do it. Okay, we won't be able to succeed in the our objective of making sure that cybersecurity is accessible by everyone. Okay, until unless we get an input from you guys. So that's one of the last thing that I wanted to add. Okay, if anyone wants to give us help us in some other way, like obviously with the website and the courses, and maybe some here and there stuff, do that. Apart from that, we are running a couple of research project as well, especially with my own company, Atal AI. And if anyone wants any kind of I don't know, internship or some get involved into some projects about the cybersecurity or machine learning, feel free to message me. Any other question that you have? Any more question? Yeah, yes, as an instructor. Yeah, if you want to add an as an instructor, or if you guys know how to create a WordPress website, and because this is all a dummy content, right? If anyone is, and to be honest, I'm very bad with writing the content, and same goes with the Joaquin, because he's actually Spanish, and same with Dan. Dan is actually more about the technical guy, so he never paid attention to what creating the content. So if any one of you wants any kind of changes on our website, because this website is basically for all of the guys who are actually in the the Slack community. Okay, if you guys want the access of the website and editor access, who can go ahead and change the couple of the look and everything, look and feel of the website, feel free to let me know. Okay, I'll give you the access, and please don't destroy the I know, like, if I give you couple of you guys the permission, uh, access, and then if someone decide, okay, I'm just going to delete the website, please don't do it. Okay, because we are trying to do something good for the society. Okay, anything else that you want to add?
Quick question from my side. Do you guys have Discord?
We were actually thinking of having a Discord. I have my own personal Discord. Okay, I have my own personal Discord, obviously. Okay, that was,
So
and
you can send the link. We can just contact over there. I
but
don't mind.
you can, I'm very much active on Slack. Okay,
Oh, all right.
yeah, Discord is like, and I'm letting you guys know about the Discord is because I have joined a lot of, or we can have a Telegram group too. Actually, I actually started a Telegram group, but to be honest, I am so lazy in, managing all the social media accounts and stuff like that. Okay, that it's very difficult for me to keep up pace with. If anyone wants to take a charge of, if anyone say that, okay, I can handle the Telegram group, you know, I'll give you the admin access. Go ahead and handle the Telegram group. Okay, that's how the community should run. It's just like that. Actually, right now the all the social media is being managed by Joaquin, and if you guys if you guys really want to become a social media manager, just ping him and probably he'll give you the access. All of the assets is not like we have the some kind of copyright or stuff like that. Yeah. Any more question? Okay. If not, then thanks a lot, guys, for joining this. Okay. Spread the word as well. Well, the thing that we are trying to do over here, and slowly and slowly, our objective is to is to increase our presence and make sure like the people know about what we are trying to do, and share the knowledge as well. So if any one of you wants to add anything, feel free to add. Thanks a lot, man. Anyway, so I
Thanks for
guess,
the session.
yeah, thanks a lot. Take care. We'll see in the next session as well. And probably there will be a guest lecture. He's currently working in India, France, and he's gonna take the guest lecture next weekend, probably. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye.